Hello guys, I am the Canadian railfan, and over here, an accident leaving the station after the F49P hit a car. Then, the train does not know what's coming ahead. Another car on the track, and the driver is not looking. And the train gets led by the cab car, and the passengers are all evacuated. And the train's going to the Conevalley yard. And then the driver looks forward and realizes it's way too late. Then the train hits a car. Whoa! The cab car just hit a car. Then, if fire starts, whoa! Then the fire starts to spread all over the train. Luckily, there was no passengers. The passengers all took the bus to their destination. Whoa! Then, the other car starts catching fire. The other cars. And the heritage box car also catches fire. And then the engine also catches fire. The damaged engine. Then the fire spreads around the city and causes a really big disaster. An explosion starts. Whoa, look at that explosion. Then the fire gets so big, it'll reach a city. The explosions are getting worse. There's cars all over the place and a lot of stuff. And the crossing over here is burned. Because how big the explosion was, the tracks also get burned. A lot of stuff starting to get burned. The tracks are getting burned. They're falling apart, the tracks. Oh, there's a fire near the house. Oh my god. Then the house catches fire because how big the fire is. Ooh. The fire is spreading all over the city.
Yeah, everyone has to be evacuated.
Then everyone gets evacuated out of their homes and they run fast as possible outside.
And
it's
check out
spreading
the
all over the
of
place.
the
It's spreading all over the place. Oh, it's a really, really big explosion.
And they catch the grunt of the crash.
Whoa, didn't another explosion happen?
Oh, yeah.
The fire gets really bad. Oh, look at that. That's really bad.
Wow, the fire gets bad.
Whoa, the fire is spreading all over the place. Then the firefighters come, and then it takes almost 20 or 30 minutes to put out the fire. Then the fire will be put out. Okay, the fire has been put out by the firefighters. That took almost an hour to put out the fire. This is the city after the fire and the explosion happened. The tracks are burned, the tracks have fallen apart, and the station has also been damaged. No passengers are hurt, but the drivers bailed. No one was hurt, but $10 billion of repair. Approximately 9 people in their house died because they did not evacuate in time. 9 died and 24 have been injured. The crew on the train was okay. They just bailed in time and ran pretty far away from the incident. So the engine is going to be sent to the scrapyard because it's been really badly damaged. The coaches, the cab cars, all be sent to the scrapyard. They cannot be repaired, unfortunately, because the damage is really bad. RIP Exode 9014 F15 MPH. RIP. It's a lot of money ever repaired. $10 billion. Look at all this damage. Then the whole subdivision becomes closed. The subdivision is now closed. It's under maintenance. There will be no train running here for a very long time. Instead, the passengers will be rerouted to another station.
Yes.
And then they forget about this. Years really long, like few years later, they forget about this. Then the tracks become all abandoned. And the subdivision is no longer used as subdivision. And then the tracks start falling and breaking. And some tracks even disappear. The Conevalley subdivision lasted a really long time, the Conevalley subdivision. It lasted from 1950 to 2022. It lasted very long. Rest in peace, Conevalley subdivision. It served our country. It is a really important line. The freight delivered coal, pulpwood, tankers. They delivered a lot of good stuff for the people who live on the subdivision. It also served our country. Didn't the traffic cover the grass? Including they also gave a lot of ore for homes. Then the grass covers every track.
And then no one was able to get
Then people
ore.
want to see the subdivision and they follow the tracks until I saw a big crash ahead.
And
They
then
delivered a lot of ore.
and
This is the Conevalley and GNLN subdivision. They had ore docks, delivered a lot of important stuff. This is a passenger line and freight line. This is very busy every day. There are switchers, locals, really long trains. Rest in peace, the Conevalley subdivision and GNLN subdivision. Some tracks still remain, but this part of the subdivision is all abandoned. But the other tracks remain, but no trains pass here anymore. Then this much is getting abandoned. It gets a bit abandoned as well now. Now since the trains cannot go on the line anymore, GO Train, Via Rail, EXO, they are rerouted now. They go through another route and go to another subdivision.
don't forget New Jersey River
and New Jersey
Transit.
Transit.
And then New
Then
Jersey
a
River
few years
Transit made
later,
a plan.
then approximately 30 years later, the track is still standing there, but they start getting abandoned now. They're
And
rotting. The tracks are rotting now.
And then there's plans to reactivate the line.
The line cannot be reactivated anymore because the tracks are now disappearing now. The line is being a bit demolished, but some track will stay there for history of the Conevalley subdivision.
No,
The local ore train will be rerouted to another subdivision, like the passenger. The station has been rotted out. Then the yard over here also gets rotted out really badly.
And then the plant.
This is the end of the Conevalley subdivision. All stations have been demolished. All stations, because trains no longer pass here. They start somewhere else and end somewhere else. And the old CS6 engine here gets moved somewhere else. All the equipment over here will get moved somewhere else to another yard. An engine comes and takes them and puts them in another yard because the yard will also be demolished, sadly. Half of the subdivisions will be used and half will be abandoned. Only one car remained in a yard, sitting there, rotted out. And some trucks get disappeared and demolished. That's the story of how the crash of EXO caused a lot of chaos on the Conevalley subdivision. The Conevalley Railroad decides to not reuse the subdivision after this crash. And thank you for watching the video, guys.
Yeah, make sure to sub.
Yeah, I am the Canadian rail fan again, guys.
And I'm the NJT7023wastaken.
Yeah. Anyways, make sure to subscribe to this guy. Subscribe to all of us here.
Yes, we love you.